Okay, so picture this. The Western Roman Empire has fallen, and Europe is, well, it's a mess. It's in this period of what some call inner closure, a time of total political chaos, where knowledge was basically locked away. But while the lights were kind of dimming in the West, a brand new, incredibly powerful sun was rising in the East. Today, we're looking at a civilization that conquered the world not just with the sword, but with the pen, with mathematics, and with science. This right here is the story of the Islamic Golden Age.
And to really get how important this era was, you have to see the contrast. It's just so stark. On one side of the world, you've got total fragmentation. On the other, you've got this massive unified empire. While all that European knowledge was being preserved but kind of stuck inside monasteries, there was this ravenous hunger for learning and discovery just exploding across the East. This was the world stage around the 8th century.
So how did this all happen? Well, it kicked off in the 7th century, right on the Arabian Peninsula. The rise of Islam united all these different tribes under one banner, and that triggered one of the fastest, most mind-boggling expansions in all of history. Seriously, in just 100 years, a new empire stretched from the borders of India all the way over to Spain. It created one of the first truly global empires. And they brought with them not just a new faith, but this absolutely insatiable desire to learn everything.
Now, at the very heart of this new world was a new city. I want you to imagine a metropolis built from scratch, designed to be the center of the known world. They called it Medinat al-Salam, the City of Peace. We know it as Baghdad. It was built as a perfect circle, a symbol of cosmic harmony. And right at its core was one of the greatest intellectual projects in human history, the Beit al-Hikmah, or the House of Wisdom. And this was so much more than a library. Think of it as the Silicon Valley of its time. It was an academy, a translation center, and a massive observatory all rolled into one.
You know, the spark that supposedly lit this whole intellectual fire is just a fantastic story. The legend says the Caliph, a guy named Al-Mamun, had a dream where he met the great Greek philosopher Aristotle. And when the Caliph asked him, "What is good?" Aristotle supposedly replied, "That which is good in the mind." For the Caliph, this was a divine sign. It meant faith and reason weren't enemies, they were partners. And this one dream is said to have launched this unprecedented quest to gather up all the world's knowledge.
So to fuel this quest, Al-Mamun came up with just an incredible incentive program. Get this, scholars and translators were paid for their work with the manuscript's equivalent weight in solid gold. Can you even imagine that today? A researcher getting paid for their paper with its weight in diamonds? The motivation was immense. In fact, they say some of the cleverer translators would use extra thick paper and big lettering just to make their books heavier on the scales. But the Caliph, he didn't even mind. He knew that knowledge was the true currency of power.
The House of Wisdom was a true melting pot. I mean, in its halls, you'd hear Syriac Christians debating with Persians, Jewish scholars collaborating with Arabs. It didn't matter where you came from or what your faith was. The only thing that mattered was your expertise. Arabic became the lingua franca of science, the common language for discovery. And here's the crucial part. These scholars didn't just copy the ancient Greek texts they were translating. No, they stress-tested them. They corrected their errors, and they built brand new theories on top of them. They were effectively saving and upgrading humanity's collective memory.
So this amazing intellectual environment, it didn't just produce books, it produced absolute giants of science, individuals whose breakthroughs directly shaped the world that you and I live in today.
So every single time you use a search engine or you scroll through social media, you're using something named after this man. The word algorithm is actually just a Latin version of the name of this 9th century Persian mathematician, Al-Khwarizmi. He's the one who took mathematics from being all about shapes and turned it into the abstract equations we know today as algebra. Yep, another word we get from his work.
But you know, maybe Al-Khwarizmi's greatest gift to the future was how he popularized the Indian numeral system, which included one revolutionary, game-changing concept, the number 0. Think about it. Roman numerals had no 0. That made complex math a total nightmare. By bringing 0 into the system, Al-Khwarizmi laid the foundation for the binary code, the ones and zeros, that powers every single computer today. Without his work, the very language of modern computing just wouldn't exist.
Okay, next up, the man who let us see the world completely differently, Ibn al-Haytham. Now, at the time, the ancient Greeks believed we see things because our eyes shoot out invisible rays. Ibn al-Haytham proved this was wrong with a simple but absolutely brilliant experiment. He took a dark room, made a tiny pinhole in one wall, and saw that light from the outside came in and projected an image on the opposite wall. He proved that light enters the eye, it doesn't leave it. This simple discovery, it's the fundamental principle behind every single camera ever made.
You think robots and automation are a 21st century thing? Ha! Let's travel back to 12th century Turkey, to the chief engineer of the Artukid Palace, a genius named Al-Jazari. This guy is the undisputed father of robotics and cybernetics. 300 years before Leonardo da Vinci was even sketching his automatons, Al-Jazari was designing and building programmable humanoid robots, super intricate clocks, and automated machines. He even used the crankshaft to turn linear motion into rotary motion. That's a key part of the engine in your car today.
While engineering was taking these huge leaps, so was our understanding of the human body, thanks to Ibn Sina, or Avicenna, as he was known in the West. His masterpiece, The Canon of Medicine, was so complete, so comprehensive, it was the main medical textbook in European universities for 6 centuries. He theorized that diseases were spread by invisible creatures, basically inventing germ theory. He practiced a 40-day isolation method, al-Arabayinha, to stop contagion, which is the direct root of our modern word quarantine. And this wasn't just theory. This knowledge led to the creation of the world's first real hospitals, with separate wards and medical schools.
Now, all of this incredible knowledge in math, optics, engineering, medicine, it wasn't just contained in the East. It traveled. And its main bridge into a reawakening Europe was across the Mediterranean, in modern-day Spain, a region they called Al-Andalus.
And wow, what a bridge it was. I mean, just take a look at these numbers for a second. We're in the 10th century. Major European cities are still wrestling with mud roads, right? Well, the Andalusian capital of Córdoba had street lighting and libraries. And the Great Library of Córdoba had over 400,000 manuscripts. At the exact same time, the largest library in all of Europe had about 400. That's not a typo. 400,000 versus 400. That 1,000-to-1 ratio just shows you the immense, staggering knowledge gap we're talking about.
So when cities like Toledo were reconquered by Christian kingdoms, they didn't burn the libraries. Instead, they kicked off one of the greatest cultural transfers in history. Scholars from all over Europe flooded into Toledo, where these huge translation schools were set up. But this time, the information was flowing the other way. The great works of science and philosophy were translated from Arabic back into Latin, and that seeded the intellectual soil for all of Europe's new universities.
And the one piece of tech that supercharged this whole transfer? It was simple. Revolutionary paper. Muslim artisans brought paper-making techniques all the way from China to Spain, and they set up the first paper mills in Europe. Paper was way cheaper and way easier to make than parchment made from animal skin. It allowed knowledge to be copied and spread at a speed that was just unimaginable before. It was the information superhighway of its day.
So the European Renaissance, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was ignited by these sparks of knowledge that traveled all the way from Baghdad, were nurtured in Andalusia, and then crossed that bridge into Europe. And there, they found fertile ground in the printing presses and universities of a continent that was just ready to wake up again. The intellectual torch had been passed.
But this relationship between East and West, this incredible exchange of ideas through books and ink, well, it wasn't destined to last forever.
A very different kind of exchange was on the horizon. As a revitalized Europe started looking outward again with new confidence and new power, the age of the pen would soon give way to the age of the sword.
Europe was mobilizing. The call went out to retake the Holy Land, and that was setting the stage for an inevitable, epic, and incredibly bloody collision of civilizations. We're going to explore that very conflict, the Crusades, next time.
And that really leaves us with a final thought. For a few brilliant centuries, 2 worlds met, and they exchanged the greatest gift of all, knowledge. But as history shows us over and over, that is not always the outcome. When great civilizations meet, do they ultimately exchange ideas, or are they destined to draw swords?